All right, a loaded show coming your way on the San Francisco 49ers Report, where we talked about and predicted the possibility of Marlon Mack getting elevated to the active roster at that running back spot with Elijah Mitchell, Ty Davis-Price out, and because Jimmy Garoppolo is now the team's starting quarterback, Brock Purdy is quarterback number 2. Kyle Shanahan said earlier this week that the expectation was that they were going to sign a quarterback to the practice squad. Now, we talked about the potential possibility of those happening on this upcoming show. They actually just happened moments ago. So the 49ers signing Kurt Benkert. He was most recently with the Green Bay Packers, UDFA, back in 2018 after going to Eastern Carolina as well as Virginia. Really a journeyman quarterback who is going to be on the Niners practice squad. Let's hope that he never gets elevated to the active game day 53-man roster because that would spell disaster for San Francisco. And then Marlon Mack just got elevated to the active roster officially, a running back who, as we're about to talk about, has a lot of potential and ability. 1,000-yard season on the ground back in 2019. Popped his Achilles in 2020. Has struggled to stay with the team consistently since then. But in this Kyle Shanahan scheme, I'm certainly intrigued. So the running backs for this game on Sunday Night Football against the Denver Broncos, it'll be Jeff Wilson as the 1. Probably, I would imagine, Jordan Mason at that 2 spot. Maybe even Marlon Mack. But those are your 3 backs. Let's talk about it further in depth right now on the 49ers Report. All right, here we go. Welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. No matter where you are or how you're tuned in, greatly appreciate all of your support of the San Francisco 49ers Report and today's show, presented by True Classic Tees, affordable, stylish wear for men of all shapes and sizes. And right now, for a limited time only, a phenomenal deal for the faithful. 25% off your order if you use the promo code CHAT at trueclassictees.com/chat. They have regular shirts that are really fit around the waist for some of those people out there that might be a little bit larger or even skinnier. Also, polos. I love their polos. I've been rocking them over the last couple of weeks. Get your hands on some True Classics gear right now by using that link, most importantly, promo code CHAT. As for what we're getting into on today's show, some 49ers injury news. Also, a lot of drama with this football team. According to Mike Silver, San Francisco Chronicle, formerly of NFL Network, privately, players and coaches want Jimmy Garoppolo over Trey Lance, and that's been the case there for a little while. And San Francisco extending one of the more underrated linebackers in the National Football League, Dre Greenlaw, got the bag. But because the 49ers on Sunday Night Football will be taking on the Denver Broncos, led by the cornball, Russell Wilson. I want you to rack your brains. I want you to get creative. I want you to really think about this and come up with a one-word reaction that comes to mind when you just think about Russell Wilson. People can go in a lot of different ways. Improvisational, great, corny, bad, weird, whatever you want to do, let us know right now in the comment section. So some 49ers news to get here, and I do want to start with some 49ers injury news. So Ty Davis-Price, he's going to be out for a few weeks because of a high ankle sprain. Really unfortunate for him as running backs in Kyle Shanahan's offense continue to be off injured. Tyler Kroft really impressed throughout the preseason at that tight end spot. Also going to be out a few weeks with an MCL sprain. And then Trey Lance, the official diagnosis for him, a fibula and ligament disruption. Not as bad as Dak Prescott's injury from a couple of years ago, but he is still going to be out for the remainder of the year. Also now, with Trey Lance out for the remainder of the 2022 campaign, Brock Purdy elevated to that number 2 quarterback spot, and Jimmy Garoppolo the starter, this just coming in during our live show. And it's pretty interesting. The 49ers at the SAP Performance Center in Santa Clara worked out quarterbacks Kurt Benkert, A.J. McCarron, formerly of Alabama, played under Nick Saban, Garrett Gilbert, Kevin Hogan, and a very, very interesting name, long neck, Mike Glennon, working out for the 49ers. Got the bag several years ago, and he was overpaid because he's been bad, and he's a bona fide backup quarterback. Last year with the New York Giants, he was awful, but Kyle Shanahan saying this week that after Lance suffered that injury, they're going to bring in another quarterback to put them on the practice squad, probably, and could be one of those players. And going back to the injury front, revolving door. A lot of people are talking about this, about running backs under Kyle Shanahan who continue to get injured. I mean, the history is long since he took over this franchise back in 2017. And what this means with TDP out, Jordan Mason going to get some carries, and maybe Marlon Mack, who was signed to the practice squad last week back in 2019, 1,000 rushing yards for the Colts before he popped his Achilles, could also get elevated from the practice squad to the 53-man roster. Something to certainly monitor on that front. As for a transaction that took place late yesterday, Dre Greenlaw, one of the more underrated linebackers in the NFL, has been signed by the Niners to a 2-year contract extension. Deal reportedly worth close to $19 million in total money, with about $10 million in guaranteed cash. And he led the 49ers in tackles against the Seattle Seahawks when he's been on the field, and last year he only played 2 games. This guy has been a very, very good player, and yet another player who Kyle Shanahan, who John Lynch, Adam Peters hit on in the mid to late rounds. Talanoa Hufanga last year, one of them. Dre Greenlaw, back 2019, 5th-round pick out of Arkansas, and the list goes on and on and on. The looming question of what this could mean for other players on the roster, maybe Azeez Al-Shaair, who frankly last year I thought was one of the more sneaky valuable players on this roster, might not get a contract extension from San Francisco. That tender was exercised this year, but beyond this year, his future in doubt potentially now that San Francisco is paying Dre Greenlaw. But for this Niners linebacking core, I've said it all throughout the offseason. It's the best, most all-around offensive linebacking unit in the NFL. Obviously led by the All-Pro in Fred Warner, but Azeez Al-Shaair is fantastic. Dre Greenlaw is really, really good. He was a menace against Seattle with 7 tackles. Demetrius Flanagan-Foles, Oren Burks, good backup linebackers, as Oren Burks made a couple of plays on special teams. But San Francisco has done a very good job of developing linebackers. Azeez Al-Shaair, Dre Greenlaw, 2 of them. Azeez not even drafted Dre in that 5th round. Greenlaw was asked about that contract extension in the locker room yesterday, and he seems to be really pumped up about staying in San Francisco. Quote, "I'm happy to be a part of this organization for 2 more years. We've got a great group of people. I'm excited to see how far we can get, try to get a couple of championships in these 2 years too. Just to not worry about anything financially, just to be able to lock it in and focus on playing. Now I can just play ball, don't have to worry about getting injured. Whatever I do, I just go and do it hard." And that's what I like about Dre Greenlaw. He balls out. He plays really hard. So to congratulate him on securing some cash and giving himself some long-term financial flexibility, type his jersey number into the comment section right now, 57, to congratulate Dre Greenlaw on getting paid. As I mentioned off the top of the show, San Francisco 49ers Report is presented today by True Classic Tees. You can get some of these really casual t-shirts or something nice like this polo. Some of their athletic wear with that really nice material is awesome if you want to play golf, lounge, kick it, or even do a workout like yours truly. Very affordable prices, very fashionable, very comfortable, but also they design these shirts so that they're tight on the arms, tight around the waist for anybody who might be skinny, anybody who might be a little bit larger. It's the absolute best fitting clothing that a man can buy, snug in the arms and chest, little extra space in the torso, but really fitting well, and it highlights your best assets no matter what you're up to. So if your special someone is upset that you're watching football all day, at least you can look good while doing it. For a limited time only, 25% off with the promo code CHAT if you go to trueclassictees.com/chat. To some juicy 49ers rumors now. Drama. And, of course, we talked about this when Jimmy Garoppolo was brought back on that contract restructure, that there was going to be drama down the road if Lance didn't play well or if Lance got injured. Well, the latter has happened, and now the reports are starting to leak. According to Mike Silver, anonymous 49ers players and coaches admit that they prefer Jimmy Garoppolo be the starting quarterback for this football team, and he gives them a better chance to win. Silver, in part, saying this, and this is the part no one wants to say publicly from San Francisco, but something several players and coaches enunciated privately in the wake of Sunday's game. The 49ers are a better team right now with Garoppolo at quarterback than they were with Trey Lance. As 2 of these realists told me after the game, quote, "I can't say it, but you can." You know what exactly that means. And I agree. I said this on yesterday's live show, that because Jimmy Garoppolo is more seasoned, because he's more groomed, because he has more experience, because he's won 71% of his starts, playing in big game after big game, 2 NFC title games and a Super Bowl, the 49ers are in fact a better team right now. That doesn't mean that they're better for the long term. With the Jimmy Garoppolo-led offense, there is a ceiling on this unit. With Trey Lance, I thought that the potential was limitless because this offense could be very explosive. Now with Jimmy G, you're going to see a different type of offense that's more monotonous and less explosive, but I do hope Jimmy G, like he did against Seattle, starts taking some shots downfield to guys like Danny Gray, Ray McLeod, and Brandon Ayuk. And I do understand where players are coming from that sentiment of wanting Garoppolo over Trey Lance right now. Why? Because players are worried about their careers right now, and players want to win right now. Their jobs are on the line. Contracts are on the line. The same can be said for coaches. We know what the NFL stands for, not for long. That's for the athletes and the players. That's for the coaches. And if coaches don't win and notch that W in the win column often, then their ass is going to get ousted and they're going to get fired. So coaches who are coaching also want to win right now. And with Trey Lance, it's a developmental project with a lot of unknowns. With Jimmy G, it's steady and you know what you're going to get. What can also be true is that the offense is going to be more limited with Jimmy G as compared to Trey. That's not just in the passing game, folks. That's also in the running game. When Lance was in the game, I charted 17 plays, only 3 pass attempts, so that means 14 runs. They were averaging more than 9 yards per play. They weren't doing that with Jimmy G because the element of the unknown of Trey Lance being a runner causes defense to defend them a little bit differently. And because Lance doesn't oftentimes take shots outside of the sticks or downfield, it also is easier to defend San Francisco in this ground game because of the lack of read option. As for what Shanahan said about Jimmy G, and we know that Jimmy G is Shanahan's boy, and Shanahan's probably happy in the meantime because Lance is raw that Jimmy G is going to be his guy. I thought he did a real good job coming off the bench, made some real key throws, especially it was tough when we lost our run game a little bit there in the third quarter, early fourth, because it was a little bit tougher to throw when the rain started coming. But I'm real proud of Jimmy and how he came in and was ready for the moment and helped us get a win. And I thought Jimmy G played well. I want to see him take more shots downfield. But after not getting any reps in the preseason, barely practicing at all, can you ask any more from Jimmy G to do what he did? Probably not. So our biggest question of today's show is this. The 49ers are a better team with which quarterback? Is it Trey Lance, type 5, his jersey number? Is it Jimmy G, type 10? Want to hear from you right now? Let me know in the comment section.